Yes, big up, people. Welcome back. 12 man's back. There's another Arsenal roundabout. If you didn't watch last night's show, please make sure you do. You go on North Side going at it yet again. If you didn't check out myself and Turkish earlier on, then please make sure you do that as well. Turkish spitting facts today, as always. So make sure you go check that one out. Also, different panel, elite panel, different show. We've got Forder back in the house. Big up to you, my bro. AO back in the house. Big up to you. Albert, Elliot, and African Guna, who is with us. He is going to be outside. He's going to be noisy, but, he's going to stay on mute and come in and out when he's talking, which is all good. So big up to him as well. So we're going to talk about Ben White. We're going to talk about Edu replacements. We're going to talk about transfer links. And there's some other news about players returning as well, which is mad considering it's an international break and there's not much to talk about. But there seems to be. Big up to every single one of you. Make sure you hit the like. Make sure you hit subscribe. And also make sure, if you haven't done so already, that you're going to manscaped.com and using the code FTM20. Christmas is coming and the products over there now are absolutely mad. Big up to Max as well. Big up to everybody else that's in the chat also. Make sure you keep it respectful. Otherwise, you'll be booted out of here. So big up to all of you guys, though, for watching. Look. Let's start with the Ben White news because it was reported today, and I'll start with you, Forder, that Ben White has undergone a minor operation to resolve an injury that he has been managing this season. There are rumours suggesting that he'll be out for around 8 weeks. Now, some are saying it might be shy of that in terms of 6 to 8. Some reports are suggesting it might be 8 to 10 weeks. So basically, he's kind of done for 2024, it seems now, potentially. So the rumours are, Alex, right, that he's had this injury niggling for 12 to 18 months. Why are we doing this now, and why did it not happen in the summer, bro?
He had international duty, Dan. That's what it was. Oh, God, no. It's so Arsenal, isn't it? It's so Arsenal that we'd have, if we don't sign a player who's injured, then we're going to keep a player going and going and going until we can't go anymore. I mean, there's been rumours for a long time, hasn't there, that Ben White's one of these players who plays through injury. I think he had like a grade 1 or 2 tear in his quad or his hamstring not long ago and played through that. And like, I'm all for players playing through injury if it's like a slight knock, but it's almost negligence from the board and from, everyone higher up not to just go, right, you get this sorted now. As simple as that. I think Jesus had his surgery as well. So, like, why we're not just getting everyone kind of fit and ready? Unless they've looked at it, specialists have said there's not much point of having surgery. Play on, you'll be all right. And, with us getting in Calafiori, getting in more options, Lewis Skelly coming into the squad, maybe they looked at it and thought, well, actually, he'll probably get more rest this season. And that just hasn't happened. Because let's be honest, we are thin on the ground now for a squad that has, about 30 defenders. We don't seem to have many available that often, do we?
We don't, man. Ayo, let's come to you on the injuries at Arsenal. What on earth is going on? We are seeming to have players coming back, then players getting injured. It seems like it's just a recycle of injured players, fit players, and then somebody else gets injured. They then come back, somebody else gets injured in the team. What are we doing in training, man? And why are we waiting so long to give Ben White this operation that he clearly needs? It's just madness, isn't it, bro?
Bro, I'm hearing the guys willing to run through brick walls and, you'll play through injury and things like that, bro. Listen, man, I'm tired of injuries, man. We had that season where we lost Saliba. Now we got this season where we signed. How many? We've got full back four of centre backs. All of them are just collecting injury. I don't know. Actually, bro, I don't know how to explain it. I don't know what's going on, bro. Now, as you said, bro, he should have had the surgery during the summer when there was no football. Now he wants to start saying he wants to start doing surgery now. Me personally, I don't know what's going on, bro. I can't explain it. You know what I mean? I don't know how anyone else could explain it. I don't know if the training is too intense for them. I don't know what's going on. This whole running through brick walls for people as well, bro. If you're injured, say you're injured, bro. You get to say if you're injured. He knew he was injured. He didn't want to say nothing. Now he's sacrificing the whole season for us. The title race is over. We've got no. It's why is it now you want to say you're injured, bro? Why not then? You get to the city, you want to be running through brick walls. I don't understand this running through brick walls, man. You know, you've got a season to play. You want to win a title. You can't be, if you're injured, make sure you're healthy. You know, make sure you're healthy before you want to continue to play football, bro. So, I mean, I don't know. It's you know what I mean? I don't know why players don't feel like they can talk to Arteta about injury. Maybe they feel like they'll lose their spot. You know what I mean? Obviously, Timber's been on his back. You know what I mean? So maybe he wanted to play for that injury, but I don't know, bro. I don't know.
It does seem that bit strange that he's wanted this operation for so long, and we've decided to wait until now to say, yeah, go on then. Like, what is all that about? It's mad. African Guna, let me come to you for this comment from Path that says that these injuries are your managers and club's fault. There's no proper replacements, no proper rest, and we're playing them through injuries. It's all a mess. There is some positive news, though, AG, because Calafiori and Tomiyasu are both back after the international break. So hopefully we've been coping without Ben White without having to play Party at right back, I hope.
Yeah, well, the funny thing, Dan, is that now we know why Calafiori was our priority signing. I mean, when you asked me earlier in the summer and we talked about priorities, we all knew we needed a striker. We all knew we needed a midfielder. Now, obviously, with this coming to light, you can understand why we wanted another defender, because we already knew one was going to be out soon enough. And I think in terms of injuries, Dan, I think we've been quite unlucky, but we should have been prepared. You know, I think as some of the rest of the panelists said, we've always had excuses with injuries. Like, it's always like we're one player away. And the fact that the last 2 seasons we've been so close and we didn't prepare ourselves this summer to have, you know, the squad, the depth that we were talking about, you know, we all knew we needed it. We got rid of Smith Rowe, we got rid of Fabio Vieira, you know, we didn't replace them accordingly. Odegaard gets injured and our season has just unraveled the way it has. And I mean, I'll take this on the chin, Dan. When we were on here a few months ago, we asked about what is the actual rating for the transfer window. I was one of the positive ones, you know, maybe putting out a 7 out there. I feel stupid right now because definitely wasn't a 7 out of 10 window. We massively failed. I was just over optimistic, over positive. Just being as an Arsenal fan, wanting my team to win and be the best and feeling like we had enough. And with the injuries, yeah, it's just been really bad. And it's a poor reflection on our transfer strategy and our squad building over the summer. So a bit disappointing, to be honest.
It has been disappointing, man. Let me chuck these super chats in before I come to Elliot. Chaitanya says our transfer business has set us up for top 4, not a title. I totally agree with that. I don't think we've done anywhere near enough to go for the title, and I think the results are now showing. Suj, big up to you, my bro. Absolute legend. Another super chat, man. Absolute hero. Says big up Dan and the panel. Hit the like and subscribe, people. True knowledge on this panel. Let's be respectful, even if you do not agree with what is said. Absolute legend. I couldn't say it better myself. Please make sure you've hit the like button. Please make sure you've hit subscribe, and please make sure you're following every single one of these guys. You can see their Twitter and social handle and YouTube channels there, so please make sure you're doing that. Elliot, what do you make of this Ben White news, and how do we cope without him for 8 weeks, bruv? Oh, you're on mute, my bro.
Sorry about that. Sorry.
You're definitely louder than that normally, I was going to say.
I know this. First time I've been silent in weeks. No, ladies and gentlemen, we all knew that Tomiyasu going into the season was injured. I think that's the reason why Ben White was allowed to, prolong this injury as long as possible. Because again, we were short to start the season. I think Timber didn't. I don't think did Timber start. I don't know if Timber started the season on time as well. I forget, but again, Tomiyasu was definitely injured. So I think that's the reason why White was allowed to prolong this injury as long as possible. Number 2, I think it's the international break, so that's 2 weeks canceled from that injury. So it's basically 6 weeks. So, and it didn't hit a rough part of our schedule. Remember, now that the international break is over, now that these crucial matches are over, we can allow for a Ben White to go on injury leave, knowing that, as you say, Tomiyasu and Calafiori are coming back. So we have that covered now. We don't have a strength of schedule to deal with as we did. And so now would be the perfect time for him to get injured, to take care of the injury, to recover, and then by New Year we'll have him back and ready for the next part of our season, the tough part of our season. So, in a way, it's good injury management. Yeah, it comes at a bad time where everybody's coming up injured, but again, I think it was for a reason that they prolonged this injury to now, where is an international break. You can go in. The 2 weeks are basically canceled because then he can have the operation and get the rehab that he needs. And so we can smartly deal with the recovery into the new year where when we need him, he can come back.
Look, I think that the obvious way to deal with this is not to put Partey at right back. I think what we need to do is play Timber at right back and Calafiori at left back. The other thing you can do is play Tomiyasu there if you believe that's the thing. But Albert, what are you telling me, bro?
Well, Dan, firstly, I must get the important stuff out of the way first, mate.
Go on, bro.
Big up to you on going on talks, doing the TalkSport thing, man. Love it.
Hey,
Ah,
Yeah, come on,
Thank
can't
you, bro.
be that silent, mate. Come on, mate.
Thanks, man. I didn't expect.
Yeah,
I didn't know what you were going to say. Then I was thinking, where's he going with it?
Nah,
Love,
it's all
man.
good, man.
Thank you
It's
for
all
that,
love.
bro.
Nah, big up for that, man. Yeah, Dan, I can't really say much more what the other guy said. I think the only thing that really shocked me the most was we've known there's been an issue with Ben White injury wise for quite a long time. I didn't realize it was that long. And I'm a bit surprised, obviously, considering he doesn't play for England, that he gets a bit more time off than some of the other players in the squad. But I know they say that the likes of Calafiore and in particular Tomiyasu are coming back. Dan, I'm going to be honest, that doesn't fill me with great confidence. And I say that just because Tomiyasu came on as sub against Southampton, right? For no more than 15 minutes, maybe?
No, it was 6, mate. 6 minutes.
Yeah. And then he was out for the next game. I couldn't believe it. So I think what's happening this season with Arsenal is where a lot of the other teams in the previous, I would say, 2 campaigns of the Premier League season have had some wretched injuries. We're now feeling that this season. And actually, we're feeling it before even the turn of the new year, which is even worse. But Dan, I've just got my fingers crossed, man. I don't know how long a piece of string is because defensively, yeah, it's about getting the bodies back. And it's not just a case of them coming back. They've got to play games and get match tight, match fit. And the thing with, if you look at Jurrien Timber, and I think someone might have mentioned it in the chat, actually. I love Jurrien Timber, by the way, but with him and the likes of Partey, they are high-risk injury players, man. And we've already got, in terms of players only coming back, or they're still injured on top of the news they're hearing about Ben White today. So I've got everything crossed, man. I'm going to be honest with you, man. We're not playing well, and defensively, we've gone missing a bit this season. So this is not welcome news, but listen, getting back fit and, correct this problem. And yeah, hopefully the guys will come back into the team who have been missing for quite a while and make us have us a bit more solidified defensively, because I'll tell you what, not only do we need it from the defensive point of view, but from an attacking point of view, we're just not firing in either facet, to be honest.
Nah, facts, bro. Look, I love Timber. Injured last season, long period of time. I really like Tomiyasu as a footballer, but I'm kind of giving up with him now in terms of his injuries. Zinchenko is injury prone. We've also got Kivior, who I don't think wants to be at Arsenal. If I'm honest with you, what I'm reading today is that he might be sold in January. I don't know why we're going to do that, but he looks like he wants to be off. Seems to me, Forder, that we've bought about 15 defenders and only like not even half of them can stay fit, bro. Like we're stacked in the actual position. If you look at our squad of 22, I think there's about 8 or 9 defenders in this squad. So I look at it now and think they're all injury prone. How about we just buy sort of 6 that are actually always fit?
Could you imagine the fan base meltdown with that? Everyone's crying out for a striker or an 8 or a left winger, and then we go out and buy more defenders. It'd be so Arteta to go get another goalkeeper on top of it, you know. But because what I'm hearing at the moment is Calafiore's not actually back until the West Ham game, so he'll miss the first game after the international break, and then Tomiyasu apparently, although they're saying he's back after the break, is not actually kind of scheduled to December. So it might be a little PR going out saying these players are all kind of ready, they'll be straight away, and they're not. So I would keep that in the back of your minds. I could be wrong, but that's what I'm being told. So you're looking at it right now, our left back options, if Calafiore's not kind of straight back, we got Zinchenko, who's injury prone and kind of inept at times defensively. Lewis Skelly, who I love, and I think he would give us options in terms of he's got different angles. He's really good at carrying the ball, but experience is that a great option there. Or we go with Kivior at left back, because I think really Timber's got to go right back with this injury. He's got to be that player. We can't keep playing Partey there. We've seen Partey have one good game at right back, and it's something that doesn't really fill me with any confidence. But if Kivior goes, like, I don't know about you six, like you five, sorry, because I'm one of the six. He's like one of the few players we can rely on for being fit. Regardless of how good he is, sometimes availability is the best ability, because we can't keep losing players and then thinking, yeah, I know you mean, Guna, but it's, I mean, like, it's all good and well us having players like Calafiori, Timber, Ben White, all these players, and they aren't available, So, I mean, for me, is it Diomande over in Sporting?
Diomande, yeah.
He'd be a fantastic signing. He would work on so many levels, like as a center of a back three. He can play on the right, he can play on the left. He's physically aggressive. He's got a good passing range. He's a player I would love to bring in, but the chances of us getting him in and then getting good money for Kivior, I just don't know. So at this moment in time, I just worry. I think the attack is suffering because our left-hand side is Calafiori does make a big difference. I think when he's playing on that left-hand side, you see a different side to us, and it opens up. Martinelli's done his best work there. He hasn't been fantastic, but he has looked better with him there. I think Timber looks better going forward on the right than he does on the left. So for me right now, it's just a shambles. This whole season at the moment is just, it's depressing, isn't it? We go into the season thinking this could be a year that we actually beat City. And then the transfer window's a little bit lackluster. And then we have the decisions against us, and then injury after injury. Then Edu suddenly leaves, and we're all sat here with an international break going, oh my God, another international break. And we're not looking in our best condition right now. So sorry for being so depressing, guys.
Listen, you just got to say it how it is. Like, there's not many positives people can chuck at us right now, but look, we got another international break, and I'm quite happy for this one. I ain't been for the other two, but I need a break from what I'm seeing. It's absolute dire football, man. And real talk, I'm actually really not enjoying watching Arsenal this season at all. I'm going to the games thinking this is going to be another crap game of football, and I'm not disappointed with my thoughts. It is absolutely what I expect it to be, which is a boring, rubbish, no-style game of football where we're launching balls into the box. So, look, Ayo, I've got to ask you, because I believe that there are some problems with our squad, but there's 22 players. It's one of the smallest squads in the league, and we've seemed to have a little bit of a mixed match at the moment. We seem to be playing a little bit of everybody in everywhere. We've got Rice playing out of position, Partey in and out of position. We've got Timber playing right, then left. We've got Calafiori coming in, then somebody else is coming in. We've got Havertz now as our number 9, but he's asked to drop back sometimes. Trossard's in the 10, then he's back out on the left. It's an absolute mess. Marino on top of that playing 8s and 10s and 6s. I don't know what is going on at the moment, but it seems like a complete and utter mismatch. What do you make of what you've seen so far, bro?
Bro, football's, bro. I came, as you said, bro. I came into this season expecting excellent football. I came to this season expecting the league, bro. I came and I still want that league. I still need that league. I haven't lost it, man. I still want it. I know we're not going to win it, but that's the only thing Arteta can do for me now for him to keep that. But as off topic, you see that Toy Story movie that Mr. Potato Head where he's sticking into his arms and his arms into his legs, and that's what we're doing this season, bro. You get to see I'm seeing Partey playing right back. I'm seeing, bro. Oh my days, this season has been causing me stress. My eyes are red. Everything is just going wrong for me this season, bro. Everything's just going wrong for me this season. We've had, as you said, we've had a lot of injuries. As usual, injuries. I hate blaming injuries, honestly, bro. That transfer window was a disgrace. I'm not blaming injuries. No, I'm not doing it. I'm not blaming injuries, man. I'm tired. We went in. He knew. Yeah. If we saw Vieira and Smith Rowe, the only other creative midfielder we were going into the season with was Ethan Nwaneri. And still then was not going to build. So what was his plan? What was Arteta's plan, really and truly? Was it to go in with just Odegaard the whole way through the season without injuries? What player has that happened to? Bro, it's like, oh my, bro. I knew this was going to happen. Even when we signed Raheem Sterling, bro, I knew he wasn't gonna get no minutes. No minutes, bro. You get what I'm trying to say? I knew he wasn't gonna get no minutes. Even then, bro, why have we bought him? He's not being particularly creative. He hasn't been bagging like that. Or he scored one tapping against what was it, Preston or was it Wigan, whoever that was. He scored one tapping. He's not even creative like that, bro. You get what I'm trying to say? So I don't feel sorry for him. If I'm being honest, I don't feel sorry for him. We've had injuries. Okay, every team has injuries. Like, look at, when Liverpool get injuries, who they, I don't know. My head's gone, bro. My head is gone. Season's over. You know what I mean? Season's over, man. And you know what I mean? I can't enter the GC for a long time. You know what I mean? I'm just hate watching United right now. Just trying to keep myself sane, bro. If I'm being honest with you, I've got nothing left. I've got nothing left, bro. Honestly.
Bro, I feel your pain, man. I feel your pain. AG, talk to me. Season over. AO saying he's given up on the league already. Lots to play for. It's November. What are you telling me? Come on, African.
Yeah, you know what? It's so funny because whatever AO just said, that it's facts. A lot of it is facts. What was he thinking? Why would you get rid of your two other creative midfielders if you're not gonna play Nwaneri? And I get it, like he's young, you don't want to throw him in. But like when you have no options, sometimes you just gotta do it. That's how Fabregas, that's like Wilshere, like a lot of these young players, they got their chance and they took it in their stride. So I mean, the fact that he didn't give him any opportunity for me is very disappointing. And it reflects on the transfer strategy. Like, we should not have loaned Vieira. We should have not gotten rid of Smith Rowe if this was going to be the plan. In terms of Sterling, I have to agree as well, man. Like, look, I'm sorry, but when you're bringing in a player like of that stature and you can't even bring him on in the last 5 minutes to win you a game, then like, what are we doing? Why did we bring this guy? That makes like zero sense. This is an established player that's played for a lot of top clubs, right? So I don't care what the price is. I don't care what the wages are. Whoever was going to come in had to be utilized to be that impact player. So again, it reflects really badly on the manager, on Edu as well, and on the transfer strategy. In terms of this season, oh man, Dan, it sucks because I can't put my chest out and I can't talk about Arsenal the way I did the past 2 seasons. Going into this Chelsea match, I was not confident. I thought we were going to either get a draw or a 1-0 win. We can't create for shit. Like, this is not a problem of this season. This is a problem under Unai Emery, under Freddie Ljungberg. We at that stage of our life cycle, we also had issues where we weren't creating enough. I mean, all we're doing is really crossing it into the box. Martinelli looks out of shape, out of form. It's like too robotic. And what really sticks out to me, Dan, and the rest of the guys is, guys, we've had this conversation so many times. It's not the first time we're having these conversations. We all knew we needed to sign an impact player, a world-class striker, and then just kind of fill up the rest of the squad, and we haven't done that. In terms of the league, it looks like it's over. It looks like Liverpool have got the march on everybody else, and I don't see them dropping, points maybe to come third or fourth. And same with Man City, even with their injury crisis. I think the league is done for us, to be quite honest. I think third place, probably third or second, is best that we can hope for. People are going to laugh, but, Champions League, look, I don't think we can win it, but we got to just put our heads down, try our best to get as far as possible, hope that the draw and the new format favors us, and we can make it maybe to a semifinals. Look, if we win the League Cup, I'm not going to be like, okay, it's a trophy, but like, I'm not going to celebrate that. Like, I don't give a crap about the League Cup. Even another FA Cup, it's great, but that's not what we were focusing on this season. To be honest, my strategy at this point and my mindset at this point for Arsenal Football Club is to do our best, get through each game until December. And in December, we got to get into that transfer window and buy major players. I'm sorry, but that's the only way I see us salvaging this season. And if we don't do that, then serious questions need to be asked of Arteta, of the Kroenkes, and everybody at the club. Because if we are not going to sign players that are going to help us win the league this season, then what are we doing? This season is pretty much a dud, right? So I need to see a midfielder coming in and a striker coming in January. If I don't see that, then like, I'm sorry, I'm losing faith. I'm not saying Arteta out. It's way too early. We know nothing's going to happen. Let's be serious. Those conversations are way too early to have. But if we're looking at the trajectory of where the season's going to end up, and we're looking at no trophies and no signings in January or no help, it's looking really bleak. And I think that's a fair assessment. Like, any Arsenal fan knows right now, for being honest, we need to sign some players and we need help because this squad is not good enough to take us to the title.
Bro, I think you're spitting facts, real talk, and I love the way that you're actually putting some pressure on the club to ask what they're going to do about it in January, because that's what's needed now, man. We need to look in that January window and actually do something about it. I've got to say that. Before I come to Elia and Albert, big up to every single one of you that is in the chat. We are only 30 away from 27k. I need 30 subs. Come on, people. 30 of you in the chat right now. Hit subscribe, and we will reach 27k tonight. So make sure you hit the like button. At the moment, we're not at 100. We need to be. There's 462 of you in here. So please make sure you hit the like button. Let's get that way over to 200 by now, people. Come on, and let's get 27k. And if you are the 27k person, let us know in the chat. If you hit it and you're 27k, let us know in the chat. Come on, people. We can do this tonight. Listen, Elliot, I mean, African Goon is talking a lot of sense there. There is worrying signs. I don't think it's all over for the season, but certainly the league is looking very unlikely right now as it stands. How do we turn this around, bro? Because we have to.
How do we turn it around? Well, as the old saying goes, one game at a time, one match at a time, we go about these things. And listen, our first match is against Forest. We have to win. It's a must win. It's a home tie. It's a home draw. And then we go from there. I'm just looking over the schedule now. Then we have West Ham. We have Man United. We have Fulham. We have Everton. We have Crystal Palace and Ipswich. And that ends our year. All of them winnable matches. All of them. All of them have to be winnable matches. All of them. And a key player has returned to us who can give us greater assurance of those wins, and that is Martin Odegaard. He is the heart. He is the soul. He is the heartbeat of this side. Without him, we were struggling. We were listless. We were bereft of any answers. And it's time now that Martin Odegaard puts on that captain's armband and grabs us by the scruff of the neck to the transfer window. It is imperative that all these draws that we have in the league are wins. We have missed the hard part of the schedule. I'd say one of the hardest parts of any schedule of any league within the last 10 years of any side. And we did that with injuries. We did that with red cards. We did that with all these impediments in front of us. But you know what? We're still here. We're still in fourth. The season's not over yet. We've only played 11 matches this year. And things can happen to great effect. Now, again, backing what African Guna says, the transfer window is key. And I've been whispering this name for days and for weeks on end, but it's staring us in the face.
He's gonna say Gyökeres. Everybody knows.
Wait for it.
I know who he's going to say. It ain't going to be him, I don't think.
It is not going to be him. You're absolutely right. It is actually Mohamed Kudus.
Oh, wow.
West Ham are not exactly hitting the heights of the league this year. Mohamed Kudus has already visited the Emirates to wide acclaim as already. I would not doubt that Arsenal have had a word in the show light and saying, you know what? Hey, buddy, Odegaard, fantastic player, but we need cover. Can you come in and help us out? Can you bring us to a league? And I'm sure he's been charged with that idea and said, you know what? I think I can do a job. So with that name, I think with that one name, because let me say this, okay? Let me announce it. My top three buys.
I love this. Elliot's always got a top three. Go on, Elliot. You go your top
three. My top three buys for the spring and summer. Ladies and gentlemen, let's hear it. Number 3, Kvaratskhelia at Napoli. That guy is the answer to our problems off the left side. I think a forward line of either Havertz, Saka, and Kvaratskhelia, and we are a scary encounter for any team, Champions League or Premier League. I think Kvaratskhelia would automatically liven up our offense. He would bring us goals. He would bring us assists. He'd bring us a greater attacking threat. And as I heard earlier on today, he is that guy that people say, "Whoa, this guy's no joke." And if we have those two threats on both sides, I think there are greater days coming for years to come. So he's number 3. Number 2 would be indeed Mr. Gyökeres. step forward the striker that we have been clamoring for years. The man is he is scary. He is just simply scary. Look what he did to Man City the other week. And this was a inferior side to most Premier League sides. This guy runs the channels. This guy leads the attack. This guy does the business that we need right now. And as you know, Dan, I've been touting this name for weeks, months, at least a year. And people haven't heard me out. And even African Gunner can back me up because he's already said the name. So, hey, you know what I mean? My reputation precedes me. So, so that's the number 3. Number 1, again, is Mohamed Kudus. I think Mohamed Kudus, I think he's climbing for a move. I think he wants to get away from West Ham. I think he's world class. I think he is that creator that we desperately need right now. Let me say this. This club cannot run through Odegaard forever. And it was proven right this year. Odegaard is way too important to this club, and that should not be. That should not be. Yes, he's our captain. Yes, he's our leader. But the fact of the matter is we need to have options that we can go to where if he falls or where if he needs rest, we have someone who can come in and fill in the role. And I think Mohamed Kudus is it. It was Eze for a time, but I think Mohamed Kudus is the one that supplants him. I think he brings us goals. I think he brings us timely assists. I think he brings us, a sincere threat that we can carry forward. And he's relatively economical for this transfer window. That's the only reason why I say he outnumbers Gyökeres, because I think Gyökeres right now, with the release clause, is 85 million. Arsenal don't have 85 million hanging around at this time. Even if they did, they're not going to spend it right now. They always put their money in their pockets till the summer, and then they blow the bank. Well, they didn't do it this year. That's why I gave him a 6. So those are my top 3. Kvaratskhelia number 3, Gyökeres number 2, Kudus number 1. Go get Kudus, and let's go get a title. Simple as.
Sorry, I know it's Albert's turn to talk, but I just wanted to add a point, Dan, if you don't mind. I just think on Elliot's 3 points. I mean, we're talking about Gyökeres, who we all knew and you and I discussed heavily in the summer. No one went for him. We should have signed him, and look at what he's doing. If we had replaced him with Havertz, we're talking about a different conversation. Secondly, Elliot, we're talking about Kudus, someone who we knew we wanted to sign 1 year ago for 38 million pounds. Now we're being quoted 100 million pounds, and we're saying we want to go sign him. What are we doing? We should have signed him last year. Like, what are we doing, right? So all these players is great to hear, but we should have already signed these players, a year or 2 years ago. Now we're paying double the price of these players. Bad transfer strategy. Like, there's no other way to put that. I just wanted to say that. I don't disagree with your points. I'm disappointed that we didn't act before. We always reactive instead of being proactive.
And that is why I'm not upset at Edu leaving. I'm not. Let's face facts here, guys. He did us a service. I mean, 9 players in our top 22 he brought in, and with great effect. But the fact of the matter is, am I afraid that he's gone? No. I think we could go a level higher. I think we can go a level better. I gave him a 6 in terms of our rating. I think Edu did not bring us the Brazilian market. Edu didn't bring us big name players. Edu didn't sign players at the time that they should have been signed. He did not see that. He did not see the forest for the trees. And again, you heard rumors of the man named Olabe. If he or anybody else out there, any other candidate proves to be better, let them do it. Because, again, Edu wasn't the end-all and be-all. We will move on. We will move forward. And if not, even better. We need someone sharper. We need someone who can see what's happening out there and tactically assess what we need at the right times and bring them in for good prices. Yes, and sell players who need to be sold. There are 3 or 4 players in this club that need to be out of here. I leave it to you to decide. We all know who they are. Okay.
Yeah, we do, man. We do. Listen, Albert, let me come to you, bro, because Elliot makes some good points. I agree a lot of what he said in terms of who I think that we should be linked with. I know you're a fan of Victor Gyökeres. This is how I see it. If you said to me now, go and sign 2 players for Arsenal to take them to the next level, I'll probably sign these 2, Kvaratskhelia and Alexander Isak. They're the 2 that I would bring in, right? But I don't think either of those are available in January, if I'm honest with you. I honestly believe they're summer transfers. So it looks like Victor Gyökeres is the guy, if anybody, that we're going to have to try and sign. Now, I'm a big fan. I know you're a big fan. The reason it is realistic is because there's a release clause. He's already basically come out and said, I'm happy here, but I do have a dream and it's away from here. That to me says he could be on his way out. My problem is it ain't going to be Arsenal, the only club that will be interested in this guy. And the links that I see still says that we want Sesko, not Victor Gyökeres. So where are you at with all this, Albert?
Well, you know my thoughts, but let's just go through them again. But yeah, I mean the Gyökeres thing is nothing new. If people heard me talk about him. There was obviously going to be interest in him because he's done well at Sporting Lisbon. He's not just a goal machine; he's an assist machine as well. But it goes back to the point he just made, Potsy. Like people talk about the Arsenal, you know, the Arsenal did want a striker, but they wanted Benjamin Sesko. He does have some good attributes, and there are some Arsenal fans out there that made some point-in cases about him, but he wasn't my pick personally. I still think he needs some room for development, particularly from what I saw in the Euros anyway. But I said it before, Potsy, and I'll say it to you again. Don't be surprised as an Arsenal fan if you do see Benjamin Sesko in an Arsenal shirt. It could still happen because that's who they wanted. And you know, with clubs, when they go for particular players, they will put the money down. Arsenal done it with Declan Rice. They've done it with Calafiore. Like to City, they brought in obviously Jack Grealish. You could go through endless clubs of the targets. If you really want a player, you'll go and put the money down for him. There obviously must have been an interest or an inquiry about Gyökeres, but then is it how much of it is so much? How much of it then is about money? Because you knew what it would cost to try and activate the release clause. Of course, the thing with strikers, right, is you don't need to be a brain surgeon to know this, but there's not many of them out there. So in order to get them, you're gonna have to put the money down. Now you can argue about the quality. Prime example, Rasmus Højlund. United paid a lot of money for him. You paid a lot of money for potential. But with Gyökeres, the difference is it's not potential. If you follow his career and he's there in your eye line and you see what he can do on and off the ball and intricacies and bring players in, I look at it just purely from a footballing point of view and think to myself, well, why didn't you go for this guy? What was it so much? Put the money aside, which is probably a big issue to do with it. What was it about Sesko that you thought, you know what? I want him more over Gyökeres. That's a question I would ask them. What's the attributes that he has that he's willing to go and bring him to the club? And mind you, he didn't want to come to Arsenal because he stayed at the club he's at.
And the thing is, Albert, just quickly to comment on that, the thing that doesn't make any sense is Benjamin Sesko is fine for 5 years' time. He's 20 or 21.
Yeah.
I want someone who's ready now. And Victor Gyökeres is firing now. He's on form. I watched the Champions League highlights. Celtic beat Sesko's team 3-1. I don't want a guy that doesn't kick a ball and beats by Celtic 3-1. Do you know what I'm saying? Not that Leipzig aren't a good side, by the way. But when this guy doesn't get a kick against Celtic, I'm starting to question it. When I'm watching it with my own eyes, him in the Euros and he can't kick a ball, I'm thinking, nah, he ain't ready now. And like someone in the chat, Jonathan, big up Jonathan K, says I'd rather have Liam Delap than Sesko. I would, I think. So, real talk, it's got to be Gyökeres or Isak for me. It's got to be one of those two now. That's the way I see it. Sorry, Albert, go on.
No. You make a good point because, again, like this, strikers miss chances. But if I'm going purely by what I saw, with the hype around Sesko, for example, whatever you want to class as hype is up to you. But and what I saw in the Euros, I'm like, yeah, you missed some really big chances. I remember the game against, was it Portugal? Yeah, man, they should have beat him, man, to be honest. And he had a big chance. But like I said, he might come good then. But you're right. That's the difference. Gyökeres is at the right age and at the prime age. Sesko, there's still a bit more nurture and a bit more work to do. But I look at it, and if you look at it now, it's funny enough. You look at the way Arsenal are playing, the way they're playing at the moment. I think the striker situation would help, but I think they're struggling the Arsenal side that we're playing now, because the only difference is the chances we have created, and I spoke about this in lengthy Dan before. Like I've used certain examples in terms of where the games where we might not be creating a lot of chances. You know, you look at the Martinelli chance in the first half against Chelsea. I spoke about the Saka ball into the box against Newcastle. The Kai Havertz chance against Brighton to make it 2-1 when we were down to 10 men. that's the moments Arsenal fans are talking about. They're not just saying we want a striker for the sake of wanting a striker. It's imperative. And the thing is, I'm not saying that Arsenal fans don't look at it and say, oh, you know what, we don't need a striker, but like we really, really do. And I did a clip on my channel, for example, and I said, look, it doesn't matter whether you're going for a league title or you're trying to avoid relegation or you're going for a place in Europe. Like I said, 2 seasons ago in Cooper's first season, well, at Forest in the Premier League, one of the main reasons why they stayed up, Dan, was because Taiwo Awoniyi hit about 6 goals in 8 games. That did keep them up. There's a reason why, because he's a striker and you need your bread and butter. I Chris Wood this season, phenomenal. Yes, you can talk about the 2 wide boys, Alanga and Callum Hudson-Odoi, but it's pivotal. You do need a front man just to make that, give you that extra percentage as Arteta saw with the goalkeeping situation. You saw something in David Raya that you felt was either streets ahead or the extra 2-3%. That's what Arsenal need in terms of bringing a striker to the club. But I think the issue you're going to have as Arsenal fans is they're probably not going to get the striker you want. And the more than likely is that's going to be the case.
Listen, we are linked with someone today, and it ain't a striker, it ain't a goalkeeper, and it ain't a defender. But before I come to Forder and Eo, because I know African Guna's got to go very soon, I wanted to ask you this, bro. We're linked with this guy again, Zubimendi. Another 6. Let me just read out what it says. Arsenal monitoring Zubimendi's situation in the belief they can prove the player's most viable destination in the summer. This is not January. This is the summer. Arteta wants to add another 6 to his team. He's only got 4 to ensure they have maximum tactical options. After repeated appeals from Sociedad, Zubimendi opted to stay for 1 more season, and it is nevertheless believed that there was one condition: he'd be allowed to leave for the right offer in the future. Arsenal may now present that. Arteta wants to have a number of different options at number 6. He wants to be able to pick from a pure passer, another who is physical, and one who is press resistant. With that, Arteta would be able to reconfigure his midfield for any given game. Discuss.
Honestly, I don't really want to talk about it, Dan. I think, look, if we're trying to sign him, we should have already signed him, and that probably means Partey's leaving in the summer. It's good to have squad depth. It's good to have options, but again, not a priority at all for me. I want to see a striker. I want to see a winger, a backup winger for Saka, that could probably play on both sides so that people stop bashing on Martinelli when he's not having a good run either. And I want to see an attacking midfielder that is in the mold of Odegaard, but on the left side for us, so we can do what we do with Odegaard and Saka on our left side. That's probably the most important thing for me. And I want to leave off by saying this, Dan. I think in this international break and in the past 2 weeks, I've seen Arsenal fans turn on our players, and it's been very disappointing and somewhat disgusting, And I want to remind fans that players like Havertz, players like Trossard, they've pulled up big for us and probably over-exceeded their expectations at the club, especially Havertz. So to see how fans are treating some of our players right now for going through this bad patch, I'm not having it at all. I think it definitely needs to be raised. We need to do better. Like we cannot be badgering our players because they've had a couple of bad games. Havertz has been probably 80% of a success, even though he isn't the man, and we all know that. That doesn't mean that we just throw them out, under the bus or throw them out of the club. I don't know about how others feel on the panel, but I felt that on Twitter in the past few weeks, not just the last game. And for me, I don't tolerate that stuff, and I think that it's just below us. These players have done a really good job for us, irrespective, and just because they had a few bad games, shouldn't mean that we throw them out the club, even though we know they're not the players to take us to the promised land. I just wanted to say that because I felt like that needed to be said. And the players I'm speaking of are Trossard, Havertz, Martinelli. I think those are the 3 ones that are feeling it the most right now. It's just embarrassing sometimes to read what I read.
Listen, they're feeling the heat because they're under pressure for sure. But to be fair, so is the manager and the club at the moment to deliver. AJ, I know you've got to go. Thank you so much for jumping on, my bro. Really appreciate it, man. Have a good day.
Cheers, guys. You too.
Good to see
Take
you.
care, man. Big up.
Cheers, mate.
Listen, Forder, let me come to you with this news because Zubimendi, in my opinion, is a very good player. And I'm fine with him coming in the summer. But what does that actually do? Because I'm looking now thinking we're 5 years in. We still don't have the striker we're all complaining about. We don't know who plays on the left at the starter because Martinelli and Trossard are kind of not quite cutting it. We still don't have a replacement for Saka that we're happy with because Sterling isn't going to stay here. We've got no replacement for Odegaard still. We're now looking at our midfield chopping and changing the 6 and the 8. and we still don't really know what our back line is when everyone's fit. So I'm kind of looking now, thinking, what department have we completed yet? I thought this process was like done now. Where were we actually at, bro? Because I feel like we need another 5 or 6 players when we look at it like this.
Mate, what a pep talk that is. Jeez. Do you know what as well? You've missed out the fact that Neto's going to go. We're going to have to buy another goalkeeper. Like, is it like a disease that Arteta's got? Because the one keeper we bring in is cup tied, so we can't even play him. So we're like looking at 16-year-olds to play sometimes. I don't know. Like, if it was a January buy with Zubimendi, I'd be asking bigger questions. If it's summer, I think that indicates the party's going. And to be honest, as much as I wasn't behind the Jorginho signing, I think one of our best runs was with him playing in that position. Just having someone that's a little bit calmer on the ball, a little bit more of a kind of dictator, able to slow possession down and play in a different manner. So maybe it's not like a bad signing in isolation. However, we've definitely got more pressing matters. I mean, I said it earlier in the chat that I feel like I jinxed Odegaard pre-season. We were all chatting, saying, you know, what's going to be the big thing? And people talked about Saka, and I said Odegaard's the one, because I said from the beginning, I can see Havertz being that player that has to drop in there, and it changes everything. And lo and behold, like Mystic Meg, I got that one right. As much as I didn't want to, you know, and we can see these things. You know, we've for years we had Wenger, and we were crying out for a 6. We were saying year after year, get someone in. Now we can't get rid of them. We've got 6s coming out of our ears. You know, we've got players in Marino who I don't think is like an out and out 6. I think he does look better kind of pressing towards the other end of the pitch, but he's not like a true 8. And we're kind of, if we're looking at the midfield, for me, we need, and it's not easy to get, but more of like a Foden type player, someone that gives us a different dimension, someone that is dynamic, able to carry the ball, able to progress the ball quite quickly, because we've looked laboured. Like even against Chelsea, we looked better than we have recently, but we didn't look fantastic. We didn't look like free-flowing. So for me, it's another question. It's another thing of like, is it a player that's got a release clause and we're worried that we can't actually negotiate? Because I'm looking at January transfer window, and for me, like I completely agree with you, Elliot. Like the 3 players you mentioned would be amazing, but I don't know how we get a player out of Napoli. Like I genuinely don't know how we do that, especially like the marquee player. Gyökeres seems to, because they're talking about a negotiation to lower his fee.
Yeah.
So maybe that's something we can get done.
They reckon now. It's 84 million release clause, but they're saying 65 will get him out. We've got to do that.
But United are going to be right there with us, aren't they? Let's be honest.
And so will Chelsea, and so will Man City probably, because
so will Liverpool.
You know,
yeah,
everybody wants him.
So, you know,
everybody wants the guy on.
It's not going to be easy. Nico Williams is another player with a release clause, but he hasn't been great this season. And that kind of is a player that you bring in. Is it going to be like another Martinelli where we're waiting? Like, are you going to be that player or not? Sesko's got a release clause, but again, another player we'll be waiting for. There's players in the market we can get, but I don't think any of them, bar Gyökeres or Bruno Ramirez, like he's got a release clause. They're the only 2 players I can see you could bring in, get them done, and they would actually get us moving. But again, they're not easy to do, are they? Let's be honest. So right now, yeah, it's not looking good. Let's just get some players back, and then hopefully we get in a director that knows what they're doing, who has a plan, who has a book of players and contacts that can actually get moves over the line. Because I think you said like a 6 out of 10, Elliot, for Edu. Like I think it's around there, like a 6 or 7. We've progressed from where we were since he came in, but he wasn't groundbreaking. I can't think of many big deals he got over the line. Like Rice is the only one that you go, okay, that's a huge move. But all the others were more or less release clauses, or like a Kai Havertz that at the time everyone was going, what on earth are we doing spending 65 million on Kai Havertz? And now we've got a song about it, you know? So it's not looking great. Let's be honest. It's not looking great.
Well, look, man, Ayo, I know you've got a definite opinion on Edu leaving, and you wasn't a fan of him. There's rumors today. I think Elliot broke some around the Sociedad guy, which Elliot's going to tell me his name because I don't know. And go
Let me
on.
get it for you. Let me get it up. Let me get it up for you. Let me get it for you. It is Olave, Mr. Yes, Roberto Olave.
Roberto Olave. There we go. That's one name. The other name that's coming out from Di Marzio is the Monaco CEO, Thiago Scoro. He's one of the candidates that Arsenal are monitoring to replace Edu next season. And also Tim Stainton at West Ham is a guy that we are looking at also. Unfortunately, the other candidates are both ex-Arsenal players again, Per Mertesacker and Thomas Rosicky. Now, I'm not interested in either of these two coming to Arsenal. Look, fair play to them both. Per's done. You stay in the youth academy. Thomas Rosicky is at Sparta Prague, who are 11th. I think they're about 12 points off of Slavia Prague at the moment. Not that he's the manager, by the way, but obviously he's the sporting director. And these are just yes men for Arteta. They're not going to challenge him. They're not going to be alongside him to say, don't do that, don't do this. Like, hey, what do we need? Because, I mean, talk to me about the transfer window in your eyes in terms of the positions we need and some of the players you'd like. And then just how we need to replace Edu and the job you think Edu did.
But fam, wait, are we next season? Is this 6 years into the process? Is this 6 whole years?
Yeah.
Man, I think I've lost it. I think like it's over. I think it's over. Oh, bro, I genuinely think I've lost it. I'm done. Since the days of Wenger, I've been hearing about what you know. By November, December time, when the season has already fucked up, every mess up, the whole season is already done. That's when you start hearing about summer signings. Why am I hearing about summer signings in November, bro? November, is it done already, guys? Is it done? Sorry, put my phone on. Is it done? Like, is the season already over for me to be hearing about Zubimendi in November, bro? Why the I don't give a damn about Zubimendi in November. Honestly, I don't care. You're going to say, party leaving in the summer. Okay, go. I don't care. Like, bro, I want to be hearing about January signings. I've not heard about one. I'm hearing Zubimendi in the summer. I'm hearing Gyökeres in the summer. Isak in the summer. Kudus in the summer. All these men in the summer. Is the season done? Like, is that also admitting that the season's done? I don't understand, bro. Genuinely, I don't get it. You know, and I'm tired, bro. See, I can't do another year of the process. I don't know about you guys. I can't do another year of this. I'll be honest. If you don't win the league this season, I don't know how. Bro, I don't know, man. And you know, as I already said, bro. You know, so you're talking about the signings. I want to. I don't care. Honestly, bro. I'm looking at it now, bro. I would have told you if you asked me during this summer transfer window. You know what I mean? Not next summer. I don't give a damn about next summer. It's season not over yet. As someone said, we've only played 11 games, but I'm hearing about summer signings, bro. Why, bro? Why? You know what I mean? Like, bro, I'm so tired of this club every single year, flogging me every year, bro. Mentally flogging me, bro. I'm done, bro. This season, if Arteta don't win this league, bro, I don't care. Call me a reactionary. Call me this. Call me. I don't give a damn, bro. It's over. No process lasts this long, bro. No process lasted this long. You get to see. You'll see at least some form of success, bro. I've not seen, bro, Arteta at least before he leave. Give me something, bro. I've done 6 years, not one trophy. FA Cup, bro. Not one major. Nah, bro. You guys, come on, bro. We've got to start seeing sense now, bro. It can't continue. I'm done hearing about summer signings in November, December when the season's messed up, bro. Anyway, listen, that's about it. You know, Edu, I already said about that guy, bro. That guy's a bum, bro. I don't care, bro. That guy ain't brought no one in. Someone said Declan Rice, okay, cool. You know what I mean? That's a good signing. Other than that, bro, he ain't really done nothing. I don't know. All the names you mentioned to me, bro, I don't know who any of them are. I'm not going to lie to you. I may have heard of them in Football Manager. I'm not going to lie. I ain't heard of any of them. I was hearing, obviously, Thomas Rosicky, Per Mertesacker. Honestly, bro, I think my head is fried. Get me any of them, I'll be honest. If I'm being real with you, get me any of them. Maybe the guy from Sociedad, he developed, you know, the Martin Odegaard, Marino, or let them, you know, bring him in, do something. I'm here to, you know, yes, man, for Arteta. Oh, bro. Bro, I'm tired, bro. And I think a lot of Arsenal fans are tired as well, bro. I think a lot of Arsenal fans are tired, and I'm joining that whole that wagon of, you know, people saying it's only 11 games, bro. How many games did we lose the season for last season? Was it 1 point we lost the league by, bro? These games will count in the end, bro. Just looking at it now. okay, cool, maybe it is 11 games, but these games will count in the end. You get what I'm trying to say? It's not just now. I'm not reactionary, bro. You get what I'm trying to say? Look at last season, we lost it. What was it? At Villa, when he played Zinchenko and them, bro. Now, bro, it's over, and I think it's over for my man as well. I don't want to say Arteta because I was saying that I was too early last time, and everybody's getting on to me. So, oh, now I want him in. I think, bro. You know, I'm not talking. I don't want to talk about no summer signings. I don't want to talk about any of them, bro. I'm tired. I want to talk about this season, about January, actual real life links for January. I have not seen one. I don't know if you guys can name me. I've not seen a link for this January. I've seen summer. I've not seen this January. I don't know who we're gonna bring in. I don't know what we're gonna do. For kudos. I don't see that happening, bro. I think the last time we bought like that in January was Aubameyang. You get what I'm trying to say? Was Aubameyang? Am I like this Aubameyang? Was it? We done it before. It's about how long ago was that? That was Wenger. Was that not Wenger?
Yeah,
Well, we did bring in Trossard. We did bring in Trossard and Jorginho a couple years back.
Yeah.
I don't want to hit Trossard. I was calling the police on the Trossard the other day, bro. I said Trossard's head on the stick. That miss was a joke, bro. Trossard has been dead the whole season. Bro. I don't want to hear, bro. I don't want to hear Trossard's name today. I'm not gonna lie to you. I understand that some people may have been going over the top, bro. Me myself, bro, I was vexed, bro. But you know, because I was only really vexed because you know you got Waneri on the bench, bro. You know what I mean? Guy deserves minutes more than Trossard does. I'm tired, man. You know. So you know. You know, bring in you want to bring in. I just want to see real life links for January, and you know, bring me someone that will actually like you know look at Eddie. Someone said he didn't activate the Brazilian market. Isn't that what we brought him in for? We brought in Martinelli, Marquinhos, or some joke, man. I don't know what else he brought in, bro. I don't know, man. So I'm tired. That's what I'm frustrated. I'm tired. I've not seen a major trophy at this club ever. I've not seen Arsenal win the league in my life. I've not seen Arsenal win the league. I've not seen Arsenal win anything in Europe. I've never seen Arsenal win nothing. I'm suffering. I go into the group chat every day. Guys are telling me, "Oh, where's the Champions League? What am I supposed to say? Where's your league? Where's this? Where's that, bro?" Honestly, I'm sorry. I'm yapping, but
bro, I feel you pain, man. I feel it. I feel that. I can hear it. I can feel it in the passion. I'm lucky enough to see majors, but for those guys that were born like after me, I do feel really sorry for you, man, because you have literally had a few FA Cups to your name, and that is all we've got, man. Literally, it's mad. But look, I feel your pain there, man. Big up to every single one of you in the chat. Make sure you hit the like button. We're only 25 of you away from 27k. Just 25 of you. Just 25 subscribes. Hit the subscribe button. It's absolutely free. Hit the like button. And then we're there and we can celebrate it tonight for 27k. Big up to all of you. Let's put some super chats in for then we'll go around the panel for Elliot and also for Albert. Let's make sure the ones I have done were there. Suj again, man. Suj is a legend. As per the Arsenal website, our squad of 22 players, not including loaned out players, 9 defenders and 2 goalkeepers. This squad is small, man, and the positions that we've got are very lightweight in certain departments. He's also said, Suj, big up to you, says, I can see us going in for Isak or Gyökeres, but walking away with the centre-back from Barca in Christensen is the way that we move at the moment. That is basically rolling back the years of what we used to do with Arsene Wenger, man. That was actually what we used to do. It's absolutely crazy. It really is. And then this one, which I want to come to with Elliot and with Albert. Mark says, Mr. Potts, I'm afraid that we will lose Saliba to Real Madrid. The situation reminds me very much of Van Persie, Cesc Fabregas, and the Nasri days. Elliot, what do you make of this? Because I think personally, Saliba's safe for now, but I do believe one day he's going to go to Real Madrid and we need to be winning trophies and putting him on a contract to keep him here, bro. What are you telling me?
Ladies and gentlemen, it is a reality that Saliba, one of the best young defenders, if not the best young defender in Europe, is going to be sized up by Real Madrid. I relate this to the story of a Virgil van Dijk. He was sized up, I'm sure, by Real, I'm sure by Barcelona when he was in his prime. But the one thing that kept him there were trophies. Klopp presented him with the Premier League. Klopp presented him with the Champions League and said, here you are. Are you going anywhere? No. Well, such is the charge for Mikel Arteta. Arteta has to produce trophies so that the likes of a Saliba, the likes of a Saka, the likes of an Odegaard, the likes of our top talents will not leave us. So it's totally in Arteta's hands. Yes, Saliba is if he leaves, he deserves to go with our blessing, because we couldn't do what it took in order to keep him here, and that is to win trophies. And that's the long and the short of it here, people. Arteta is under the gun. He's under pressure. And in order to keep his top talent here at the Arsenal. Now, again, I wouldn't be surprised if he can sign him on for one more contract, but he won't get him for two. Definitely won't get him for two. Maybe a short-term deal to see if he can, try one more time at winning our trophies. But Saliba is a top talent. He will go to the highest level, and if we can't produce that highest level, he will move on. Simple as that. So Arteta's got to get a move on. And when I'm harking back to all this, the stories told by AO, told by Forder. The fact of the matter is, Arteta is like Wenger in reverse. Wenger used to stockpile attackers, and he used to leave our back totally exposed. Now we have Arteta who comes in and stockpiles at the back and leaves our forwards exposed. Can we get that right balance? It is charged to Arteta to do it. Now, we are looking blue at the face at certain targets in order to create that. I think our back line is one of the best in Europe, to be fair, but it only allows to continue if we don't have the right attackers. We don't have the right, sort of cutting edge necessary to make our club a world class club and bring trophies in to keep our players like Saliba. So, I mean, listen, Arteta's a good young manager, fair. But he's gotta prove us all wrong to a certain extent, in that he's got to bring major trophies into this division. He's brought us an FA Cup, but that was on a Aubameyang hot streak during the pandemic, and these are different times. These are different measures. You know what I mean? It's like it harks me back to the U.S. election. You know what I mean? It's hard to people understanding why Trump, because Trump told and he talked a good game about bringing down inflation, bringing a better economy, and making men again for another few seasons, and people bought into that. Now, again, we relate that back to Arsenal. I mean, Arteta had a saying that he had a system, he had his non-negotiables, and we lived up to those non-negotiables to a certain extent. But it's getting. He needs a signature platform and his signature issue to bring us forward, and the signature issue is trophies. It always will be trophies, especially when it comes to this great sport of ours. And he is on the cusp of greatness, but greatness doesn't come unless you're willing to risk, unless you're willing to do what's necessary, unless you're willing to be ruthless enough to get what you want. And right now, there are options staring him in the face. Is he ruthless enough? Is he willing enough to bring those options in and bring our side forward? Because I tell you what, he's very, very, very honorable and very, very loyal to one number 29, Kai Havertz, because that's his baby, that's his boy, that's his his turnaround. And lo and behold, he's done well for us, but it wasn't for the right assignment. And we need to understand that there's a level better. Arteta needs to understand there's a level better. We can't bring in a player that will be second fiddle to Kai Havertz. Kai Havertz isn't the end product. Kai Havertz is a second striker. He's a second striker, ladies and gentlemen. And we need to understand that there's a level better. Just like we need to understand that without that second, that level best, that number one striker in there, that guy is going to turn things around, that or a striker, that game breaker, the likes of Saliba will leave us, and we'll be left with regrets, and we'll be left with with an administration. We'll be left with a manager and a sporting director who didn't complete the job, and we'll be left, asking questions of ourselves. And quite simply, it's clear to see what we must do. Can Arteta execute? That's the question. And if he can't, well, serious questions must be asked, especially this season. He needs to bring a trophy back. He needs to show Saliba that he is wanted, he is needed here because we have the capabilities and facilities to do what's necessary. That's the question.
No, big up to you, man. There's a lot you said there that I think the chat definitely agreed with, along with the panel. Look, Albert, I'm going to tell you someone now who I think would actually be a good opportunity, or somebody that could replace Edu. There was been rumors about the Bologna guy. I can't remember his name for the life of me. Obviously, Tim
Sartorio.
That's the guy. There's been rumors of him, rumors of Stein who I've spoken about at West Ham, and then of course you've got the guys that we've said before that will let the club. Got the Monaco guy and the Sociedad guy. What about Marco Nepe, who was the guy at Bayern Munich? He's now out of the job. They left there in 2024 of April, responsible for the findings of Alphonso Davies and Jamal Musiala. Also signed Conrad Lema and Rafael Guerrero and Matthias Tell. I think somebody like that with the experience of getting those sort of names in that clearly has that scouting recognition would be really good. The other option is there's been a lot of changes at Brighton in the coming days, and there's more changes that's going to be happening. Now, they're a very well-run club and have definitely got their eyes on players in and around the European and outside of European leagues.
Mm-hmm.
Who would you like to see replace Edu, Albert?
To be honest, Dan, there's quite a few names actually. So that's why when the news came out that he was going, yes, the timing was a bit off, but within that sort of circle of CEOs or sporting directors, a lot of change happens, man. There's been a lot of change at Arsenal anyway. But Dan, there's loads of names. There's Paul Mitchell, there's Luis Campos, there's Victor Orta, there's Monchi, there's Michael Edwards. There's a whole plethora of them, loads of them. It depends what Arsenal want to do. There are already some good cogs there in terms. Richard Garlick's done a good job. But also you got to remember what we spoke about and what Arsenal fans saw, that Mikel's going to have quite a big say in who comes, which I think is a very, very that's an interesting thing to come out of the club, man, to be honest with you. Because in an ideal world, you want obviously Mikel and the new guy to come in and work well together, but I'd be honest with you, I don't really know. Like I said, the names I just mentioned. Monchi, I don't think Monchi was linked before.
He's so tight. He's so tight with Emery, though, isn't he?
Yeah, and that's the thing. Even when we had Emery at Arsenal,
and Edwards is obviously at Liverpool. Paul Mitchell is about right, or has he gone Newcastle?
We'll have to.
Sure, he's gone Newcastle, Paul Mitchell. I think some of these names are now been snapped up. This is the problem. They're so good that people snap them up, and we now got rid of Edu, who I didn't think was very good, but obviously he's now gone. It's now looking at who is actually available that could be the problem, Albert.
But Dan, you know what it is. If Arsenal, not even if Arsenal are serious, because obviously you need to find someone to come in that role who's the right fit. But if Arsenal want to pay the money to get the right man in, he'll come. 100% he'll come, Dan. It's that simple. You know, Michael Edwards comes with a very good reputation, as is Paul Mitchell. The likes of people like Monchi and Luis Campos, for me, those two would be a bit of a pipe dream. It'd be very difficult to get them out of their clubs, to be honest with you. But just let's be honest, there's options out there, and it just depends. Go on, Russ. Go on, Russ.
Big up, Russ. Big up, Russ.
But Dan, the short of it is, if I'm going to be really, really honest with you, I don't care who comes in, as long as they come in and make the necessary impact at the club. One, to get the right players in. One, to have a inverted commas working relationship with Mikel Arteta, whatever that might be, whatever way you want to take it, you take it. But there's loads of options out there, but I'm not an expert in terms of bringing the guys in. But if you look up the CVs of the potential candidates, as you mentioned some of them before, and the name people are putting in the chat as well, with Michael Edwards and Paul Mitchell and some of the other guys. And let's be honest, with those guys we've spoken about, Dan, and this is no disrespect to Edu, his time at Arsenal, obviously, but they come with probably much better CVs on top of that.
Of course. Experience.
And to experience. So they're There's work to be done at Arsenal. There's a lot of work to be done, not just on the pitch, off the pitch as well. There's a lot of change, but Arsenal needs to get the right person in, man. Whoever that is. I mean, us as fans, we're not here to make them kind of decisions. I just want to see better football, better recruitment in key areas of the pitch. And yeah, there's not much to add on that. But I just want to quickly mention what Air was talking about, because obviously I see a lot of frustration in what he was saying. And it's true, because we've spoken about this before. The questions are always going to get asked of Mikel in terms of, can he get Arsenal over the line? That is a plausible question to ask. It doesn't mean you're a negative fan or you want the manager out, because the reality is, and I'm not saying they will do it, by the way, the Cronkies. Football moves very, very quickly. It's not the best example, but you look at the fantastic job Mark Robbins did at Coventry City. Now people say, it's not about the champion. I'm talking about in terms of the manager's done well. And they still moved him on. They're not in relegation. They've had a lot of Wembley. There was a kick away from making the FA Cup final for the first time since '87. They were a match away from making the Premier League. And they moved him on. Football's tough, man. I think we're probably the only club I can think of in many, many years where the manager is almost above sacking. Now, I don't say that in a way that they should go and sack him tomorrow. But the reality is, if Liverpool go on and win the league title or finish above Arsenal with a points total less than 90, you think it's bad now on the social media and with the way Arsenal fans feel. Could you imagine if that outcome actually happens? It doesn't look good. It doesn't look good, because we've been close twice. That's why, Dan, I know you're the same as me. I didn't go for Arsenal to win the Premier League this season.
No,
because it takes it may be small steps, but it takes a big thing to win a league title, man. And as you see,
bro, the minute that window shut, I said to you and everybody on here, we ain't serious. We ain't winning the league. And people were like, what? It's gonna be this year, Dan. Look, I understand the optimism and that, but you have to be realistic about it. That window was a shambles to try and win a league.
And
absolutely crazy.
And Potsy, on top of that, and I said this before, kind of similar before. Okay, you could. It's not just about saying it's 11 games in. We've gone 2 years close. It is hard to go again. City, listen, treble winners. Yes, they won the league last season, but it's difficult to go again. Well, we're not even at that stage in terms of where we've actually won something. So when people kind of, for example, palm off the Carabao Cup, why is it that City and Chelsea have taken that competition seriously in the last 15, 20 years? You know why they do that, Dan? One, because it's a cup competition before in the finals in February, and it gives the players success of winning, which we do not have in the Arsenal setup. You cannot ignore that as Arsenal fans. You have to take it. Look at Harry Kane, for example. He's going to have a decorated career in terms of the amount of goals he scored, but when he retires, and if he doesn't get a trophy or silver over the line in his career, of course he's going to look back on that as regret. And I'm sure the Arsenal players in the current side will look at that as regret. And one more thing, Dan mentioned, and people mentioned in the chat before about losing your best players, which Arsenal done for a number of years. And I tweeted you, I sent you the tweet with when I feel for him, Eder Militao of Real Madrid, 2 ACLs in 2 seasons.
Yeah, crazy.
Yeah. Of course, Madrid are notorious. They'll find the money from somewhere, whether it's legal or not. I don't know, but you can see Saliba there, and Arsenal. The warning is already there. It's there. It's staring us in the face. Listen, as good as I love Saliba and Gabriel, that partnership can be split up as quickly as you say Gabriel and Saliba, because football moves quickly. And as Elliot alluded to, you have to get silverware in the bag. You have to. That's what keeps the players at your club. But Arsenal, we're in a tricky situation, man. Listen, people can talk about it being November, but look at the football, man. And I said to you, Potsy, I messaged you, I said, I watched that Newcastle game, for example. And you know me long enough, Dan, over 4 or 5 years now. And I said to you, I'm looking at this Arsenal side, right? Weeks gone by, and particularly that Newcastle game. Arsenal can't win the league. Playing like that. The squad depth, you can talk about the summer window. We're not winning. We cannot play like that and expect to win the league. You
I
can't.
agree.
It's not gonna happen.
I agree, bro. I it needs to change, and that for me is. I said to Turkish earlier, I'm not looking at how many points he is in front and how many points are they behind. I'm looking at how we're playing, and it ain't good enough to win the league. Look, to close, I want to ask everybody one question: where they think, as of the what we on 13th of November? Yeah,
Yeah.
as of the 13th of November, where are Arsenal finishing in your opinions, guys, this season? I'm talking about the Premier League. Don't worry about if they're going to win a trophy or where you're going to get on in the Champions League. As things stand right now, because I want to do this a few times, I personally do still feel like we could get second and probably will get second. I just don't know if Liverpool are the ones at the moment that I'm looking at as, what are they going to do? So I think if you ask me now, I probably would go third, but I'm leaning towards that we could still get second. So that's where I'm at. Forder, what are you telling me, bro?
I'm going to be boring and say exactly the same. I think last year we showed that we can, we can go on a run, we can pick up points and overtake other teams. So right now, it's less than a third of the season played, so we can. But I just don't have faith in us doing anything in January. I don't have faith in us buying. Do you remember me saying about a moments player?
Yeah.
We don't have one.
Still need one.
And that's what we need. We're still lacking that, and I can't see us getting one.
Alex, we got one. We got one on the bench, man. Ranieri, we got one on the bench.
Oh. Yeah.
And that's on the manager.
Yeah.
Well, he doesn't
But
want
that
to
says
use
it all,
it.
doesn't it?
That's for sure.
So yeah, second for me.
Second. Fair play. Ayo, what about you, my bro? What are you telling me? Where are we going to finish?
Bro, I can see us finishing fourth, bro. I can see us finishing fourth. That's how bad it is for me right now, bro. I'm looking at if this diehard, tired, knackered, dry football continues, bro, I could see us finishing fourth, bro. It is looking peak. I don't know. I look at the next couple of games. Obviously, Elliot, I think he put up the next couple of games for us. I've looked at the football we've been playing for the past couple of weeks, and I'm looking at. I don't know. I can't 100% guarantee we're gonna win some of those games, bro. You get what I'm saying? I'm looking at Ipswich. They've been a hard test for some teams. You get what I'm saying? I'm looking at some of these teams. Look at Fulham. They're on form. You know what I mean? These teams are on form, bro. We're playing them next. They look like small teams. Like now, they look like small teams, bro. But bro, the football that we're playing, bro. I don't know if we can beat these teams. So, bro, I don't know, man. I've never been so. This is the least confident I've ever been in Arsenal for a very long time. Since we lost the year before, the first time we challenged for the league in a while. I think since then it's been the least confidence, like the confidence I've ever been in Arsenal. I can see us finishing third or fourth. Fourth is a bit of a drag. Third, I can see us finishing third. So yeah.
Yeah, I'm with you, bro. Unfortunately, Elliot, fill me with some positivity, or maybe not. Give me what you think.
Oh, okay. Here's the deal, guys. November to December to January is an easier schedule. You can look it up yourselves. It is an easier schedule. It is an easier road to go. If we can go through that piece of our schedule unbeaten, and we can bring in a player into the squad, we can win the league. We can still win the league. But it's imperative that we go unbeaten, that easier part of the schedule, and bring in a player. If we don't bring in a player and we go through that schedule, the league's in the balance. If we lose one or two, then we can go to second or third. So right now, it is imperative that Arsenal, who have got their key players back, to go on a run, and I mean a serious run. The room for error is gone now. It's erased. It's gone. You've got your 2 losses out of the way. You've got your draws out of the way. Now's the time. Now that you have easier players, and remember, in this December period, we don't leave London. We don't go outside the M25. So there's going to be less travel time. We can get in our beds at the end of the day, at the end of the night, and can still face good opposition and win. But we need to win. And I mean go on a real winning run. Thank goodness Odegaard is back, but it's needed in order for us to win. So if we get to that and we get a player in, I pray for Mohamed Kudus. I understand you want Gyökeres. If we can get Gyökeres, so be it. But I think Man United and the rest of the teams will put pressure on us to get him in. So But right now, I'd say Kudus. Kudus, we have a direct route to. If we can get him in and go on a winning run, we can still win the league. If we lose in any way, shape, or form, then second or third is only the ones available. And we pray for a cup.
Yeah, I'm with you. Albert, what are you saying, bro? Are you any different to any of us? Are you positive we can still win the league? Where are we going to finish, man?
No, I mean, I said at the start of the season I didn't think we'd win the league, so I kind of stick with that. And obviously, what I've seen so far it's not been great. I watch us play, Dan. Like, I'll just quickly answer the question. I don't know why. I just think just because of the amount of games, we could still nick second, but I still wouldn't change my mind about us winning the league. But I think as well, just I watch us play, and it's so slow. I look at like the wide forwards in the league. I look at Alanga, I look at Callum Hudson-Odoi, I look at Harvey Barnes, I look at Anthony Gordon, and we just I don't think we've got enough speed in the side. Personally, I've said that on quite a few occasions. It's just too easy. We're too easy to play against. So you know what it is, Dan? We need to be better on the ball. I was so frustrated. I used it at the Chelsea game, but I was just so frustrated the way we was using the ball. It really drove me mad, particularly central areas. It's not so much just about transition. You can move the ball forward without moving it quickly, and we don't even do that. Sometimes we play. It drives me mad. But listen, time will tell what happens with Arsenal. But I know people talk about the games we've had, Dan, but we've also played Wolves, Leicester, Bournemouth, Southampton, and Brighton. Yeah, we have some toughies in there, but we've had some, I'd say, all right games in there as well. And like I said, this is not the Premier League of 15, 20 years ago where you absolutely swipe away teams 4s and 5-0. It's moved on, it's changed. You're going to see some more freak results this season, but are Arsenal capable, what they haven't shown so far, of taking advantage? And I guess time will tell with that.
Yeah, facts, man. Last super chat of the night is, how do you guys feel about links with Thiago Scuro? Look, I think we've mentioned enough about technical directors coming in. We definitely need a sporting director because in January we're going to need some players. I think it needs to be someone with experience, which obviously he does have. I don't want it to be a yes man. I don't want it to be an ex-player of Arteta's that he just puts his arm around him and says, oh, here we go, Raquel, you're doing a great job. He needs to be challenged. He needs to have experience and he needs support more than anything, because as much as he's clearly done a good job to get us challenging, we need someone who can get us across the line. If that someone isn't going to be another manager and we're keeping Mikel, we need to have someone alongside him that knows what he's doing and has been there and done it. And that's what I would say. Listen, people, we're going to close it there. Don't go anywhere. I'm going to redirect you to Don Hassam's channel. Hassam's going mad at the moment with all of his panel. It's really funny. Make sure you head over there and just do me a favor. Put Dan Potts sent me, Dan Potts raid. Show him some love. Say Dan Potts raid or whatever you want to call it. 12-man raid, whatever you want to say. Go and show some love to Hassam. Big up to Forder, big up to AO, big up to Elliot, big up to Albert. Make sure you go and show Manscaped some love. Make sure that you do hit like and subscribe on this one. We're really close to 27K, and we will see you next time, people. Take it easy. We're out of it.